SWV and Xscape, the queens of R&B. Episode 4. All right. So the first thing we see, y'all, is Taj and Coco. They're working out. And then they start to talk about the whole thing with Xscape and Xscape telling them that they need to be opening up for them. Xscape gonna be the headliner and they gonna be the opening act. Say what? So they was just like, well, this is ridiculous and a hot mess. And Coco was just like, child, New York almost came out. I mean, I know it did. How dare you? The gall of it all. I was like, child. Taj and Coco went on to say that they have worked with En Vogue, who came out even before SWV. They have also worked with TLC, who I think came out after SWV. But TLC is the biggest R&B female group, I believe, of all time. So yeah, but anyway, she said that to say that both TLC and En Vogue have sold more records than Xscape and SWV, and they were never treated, that kind of way. So I was just like, well, it's crazy. Like I said, I understand the whole argument, but it's still just wrong. It's wrong. And I'm glad to see in this episode they was able to settle that, because it shouldn't have been brought up from the beginning. Especially just like one night only, or just like one or two cities or something like that. I mean, what's the big deal? Y'all are not hurting for money. It's not like, come on now. So anyway, the next thing we see is Lily and her manager. Y'all know Lily is working on her erotica series of novels, and her character is called Sister Hot Puss E. She's started to tell, she has been writing, and she quoted a line from the up-and-coming novel, and it says something about a preacher. He's at the pew, and he's on hard, and, So the next thing we see is Taj and Tamika. They went out to eat, and Tamika, she's kind of stepped into this creativity role, a role that Candy and Tasha usually takes on, but she's decided to step in and, do her thing. And Tamika has plenty of ideas about the wardrobe and what everybody's going to wear, etc. Tamika's very excited about her new position, and I say good for her. I hate that it had to happen this way, but it's good that Tamika is getting, her flowers in a way. She is getting, something that recognition, exposure, attention, something she should have gotten a long time ago. Because Tamika is super talented. And now we're learning that Tamika is multi-talented and smart and, so good for Tamika Scott. Okay, the next thing we see is SWV and Xscape. The ladies meet up to discuss the show. Is it going to happen? Is it not going to happen? Is we still on this, we undergone thing, or are we going to co-headline this thing? So, Taj, SWV, they meet up first. Taj brought this pitiful slab of meat that did nobody eat and stuff. I'm like, how you invite somebody over and stuff? And she said she ordered it. I'm like, Taj, girl, y'all could have had some chicken wings. Y'all should have hired Candy. Candy's team be laying out the food. Y'all should have had Candy, or one of them Scots, not Tasha, Tamika. Y'all should have had Tamika or Candy host the food, because it would have been laid out. It would have been on point. So anyway, we see they're all sitting down talking, and then they all kind of decided, but it was spearheaded by Tasha, that we should just do the co-headline thing. Then Candy explained in her confessional, she was just like, well, I only brought up the whole thing about us being the headliners or whatever because of that's what the group wanted. So pretty much, I guess Candy was saying that she was taking one for the team and being the one that spoke out about it. But everybody apparently agreed with what Candy had to say. They just didn't say nothing. I don't know if I necessarily believe that. I think it's probably a mix-up with the producers. You know, let's throw a little mess in there, let's throw a little wrench in there. I think it was also Xscape. But watching Candy speak on it, she said this is why she felt like they should headline, you know, the tour or whatever with SWV. So, I mean, you know, you feel how you feel, I guess. It's wrong. But, you know, you feel how you feel. But anyway, they're doing the co-headline thing, which is, honestly, the show probably would have never went on. It's only 6 episodes. We only got 2 more episodes, apparently. But the show definitely probably would not have went on had they did it that way, where Xscape would be, you know, the headliner. So, yeah. What else they talked about? Tamika, she brought the creative director of this Xscape. He's my type. And, well, I don't know. I'm just one of those people, you just like what you like when you see it. I don't necessarily have a physical type. But, you know, you just, I don't know. And then you like his demeanor and all that. He was just like super cool, a little shy, and, you know, like smart. And, I don't know. I like all that. Anyway, hey, Steven. Y'all stop being fast. Okay, so, let me see. So they started to talk about, Tasha, she started to speak. She was just like, you know, she was feeling some kind of way because she's usually that creative kind of person. But now Tamika has stepped in the role, and she's talking about, well, she already took the sisterhood. I'm like, Tasha, shut up. We don't care. And yeah, that was it. Okay, and Tamika, she said she wanted horses. A little later on, Taj and Tamika meet up, in which I'm starting to realize that that's a pattern. As far as putting everything together and doing all the groundwork, it's Taj on SWV and Tamika on Xscape side. They are such a good team together. They are just fun. The fun part of the show, and it's good to see that. The guy, they met up, the creative director and Tamika and Taj, they met up at a church where he showcased the idea of how everything is supposed to look on like projectors and stuff. It looks super cool and nice. And I was just like, okay, Tamika's still talking about horses. Girl, we not gonna have no live animals using the bathroom all on the stage and everything else and kicking people in the head, and like, who got time? And then the horse get out of control or get antsy. You got to have the horse wrangler there, and it's just, girl, she forgot about how much the budget was, girl. I was just listening to him. It's like, well, okay, we see Coco's son Jalen, who's always moisturized. I was looking at his skin. I was like, yes, Jalen's always oiled up, and he's adorable. We love Jalen. So anyway, we see Coco, Jalen, Candy, and Tasha. Tasha came in. She didn't even hug Candy, nothing. Like, she never even... Tasha just really, really don't like Candy. And Candy don't like Tasha either. But Candy's at least always able to be cordial, and I feel like if there's some apologies and a real sisterhood talk, like once and for all, and if each party admit to certain things, then I feel like Candy and Tasha could reconcile and just do better. But each person have to want to do better. And I don't know, I just get the vibe that Candy is willing to bury the hatchet with Tasha. Maybe not now. I don't know. It's been so many years. But I feel like she's always willing to bury the hatchet with Tasha and move on from it. But Tasha's just never willing to do it. So I don't know. I don't know. Unless they just cutting out a whole bunch of stuff. You know, Tasha alleged that that's what's happening. A lot of bad editing on her part. And, you know, it's just the editing. I talked about that in my last video where I did a Chalaki thoughts. And I'll link it in the bottom bar below. But yeah, it's just crazy. It's just crazy. So they made up. They was talking about the set list and stuff, and Candy was like, "Well, you know, I don't know, like, what songs do y'all want to do first? Like, what's really going on?" And Tasha was just like, "Oh, well, I don't know. You know, I mean, it's whatever. I mean, what we've been doing, everything that Candy was asking Tasha, she was barely looking at her." And I was just like, "Oh God, this attitude. And you trying to sell a gospel album, girl? You giving all this negativity? I can't." And they talked about maybe possibly, or maybe this was scenes from the next episode, but they talked about possibly having a week and then understanding as the opening numbers. We don't want to hear that. That should close the show. I think that's their biggest hits as far as ballads. And I personally don't want to hear week first or understanding first, second, or whatever. I just don't want to do that. So hopefully they work it out some kind of way. Whatever playlist they been having, why not just have that? Like, we don't care. It's the fans, really. But we know what we don't want, and we don't want y'all biggest songs first. Because what's the ending song gonna be? I mean, I left. I done heard the song I wanted to hear. So anyway, let me see. There's a scene between Don Juan and Candy. Y'all know Don Juan rides hard for Candy, and Don Juan is, if he ain't gonna do one thing, he gonna read the girls. Okay, so Candy expressed her frustration with Tasha to Don Juan, and Don Juan bred Tasha for filth. It was like, look, the only reason she's nice to you is because she know at the end of the day, for Xscape to work and make money, that she needs you, Candy in particular, and Tiny. And, you know, the whole fame and all that they have developed throughout the years. That some of the other ladies had not. And I was like, whatever. He pretty much was saying a lot of stuff that we already knew and that Candy know too. It's just not nice to say. But I mean, hey, is Tasha nice? I don't know. I just feel, oh God. I really, really, really want to support Tasha and be there for Tasha, because Tasha is a talent. You hear me? Tasha sings the house down, and, you know, my God, she's so gifted, but the show was just it's showing her in a horrible light. Horrible. And I just don't know. We can say it's the edit, okay? But Tasha, girl, I don't know. I just don't know. And she has a new song out. It's called Yours, I think. It's beautiful. Beautiful. But ooh, girl, the large majority you want, and then we all know that this is using this opportunity to try to sell records and stuff, and, you know, it's just all just, no, honey. Okay, so after that, we see Jalen, Taj, and Coco. They go shopping for some clothes or whatever. And Taj talks to Jalen. Auntie Taj talks to nephew Jalen about the whole school thing, because Coco wanted her advice. And she basically told Jalen that you need to go back to school. It's your voice is your voice. You're always going to have that voice. You're always going to be a great singer, but you may or may not always have that same opportunity to go back to school. And when you get older and get settled in life and get a real job, and like, you probably not gonna go back. And so she was just like, you know, when I left, when SWV disbanded, I had nothing. I had to go work a regular 9 to 5 because I didn't have a plan B. I had no education, nothing to fall back on. And so she's just trying to tell Jalen, follow your dream, but also be realistic, which is something that we can all follow. Everybody, no matter what age. And I was just like, well, that's good. And I feel like he's going to listen. You know, sometimes when your parents say stuff, you don't pay no attention. But when other people say those same things, then it kind of hits home for you a little bit more. So the last thing we see is Tamika, Tiny, and Candy. They're rehearsing. It was funny. DJ A1, he said, "Please welcome Xscape for talented, amazing women." He was like, "Well, maybe," because Tasha wasn't there. It was funny. They did understanding. And you know, it was great. Listen, no matter what member is missing from Xscape, those girls has been singing together for years. They know each other. They know how to blend. They know how to harmonize. It's really not a problem, and they can all sing. It's not going to sound exactly like whomever is missing, you know, but they can all hold it down and sing, and it's all going to sound great at the end of the day. So they stopped singing for a while, and Candy expressed her frustration with Tasha not being there, and she was getting irritated. Tamika, you know, she said in the past she would defend her sister. She was getting ready to, but then she was like, "No, I'm not rocking with my sister right now, and wrong is wrong, whether it's family or not." And she allowed Candy to express herself because it's the truth. Tasha, you can at least show up, sis, for the sound rehearsal. They had a performance coming up. But Tasha is at home with Rocky, and she getting ready to sign her gospel soundtrack and stuff. And she's super excited about that. And I was just shaking my head. I was like, Lord, you know, I don't know. It was just pretty sad, actually. It was kind of emotional because the song they ended on, the episode on, was Tonight. And then Tamika had to sing Tasha's part. And, you know, and it was just like, look, at the end of the day, the show goes on. And it's just crazy. It's sad that Tasha is more close to SWV than her own group members. It seems that Coco probably know more about Tasha's future endeavors than the girls do. It's just unfortunate it's gotten to this point. It really, really is. But I mean, it is what it is. People are people, and you can't do nothing about adults that don't want to act right. I mean, what you gonna do? Child. It's more going on. The daddy, Tasha and Tamika daddy, the pastor, he done did a video, child. Like I finished watching it. It's just crazy. Say he ain't know nothing about the Mama Gloria getting on there, child. He said he always been there for his churn. And it's just a mess. It's just a mess. God bless the Scott family. We're going to pray for all of them, really. Like I say, at the end of the day, it's unfortunate. It is. With that said, I'm MrChalaki. MrChalaki on Google+. Follow me at Xscape on Instagram and Twitter. At Xscape89 on Snapchat. Chase King on Facebook. MrChalaki on Cash App and PayPal. And as always, run me my money or run me my fade. Run me my money the way I get paid. Stay black, stay tuned, and I'll see you guys later.